Good afternoon, folks. I was going to start. Have you heard of Dutch Since? The earthquake guy goes, hello, hello. I thought, no, the shots don't like that. Right, it's 4:35 on Wednesday, the 18th of July, 2018. I always put the date on first because it's now documented for deployments on what happens next, and we set it before, not after. So, these are the instructions that were put on at 4 o'clock today. Just an update on tomorrow's deployment. The purpose will be to generate rains. Tomorrow will be deployed as 2 deployments. And let me get that box down a bit. It won't, it's still there. So 2 deployments tomorrow. I'm going to explain why we're doing that. And it's also going to be a 3-day project. There are very little rains forecast, if any. Maybe very fine. So here we go. Part 1 will be a 3-hour deployment, 100% declination. This is important. Straight down into the earth. Okay. And it will be, I think we said it will be for 3 hours. That's right. We're going to, so with declination down in the earth, full water for 3 hours. The second deployment will be a given target, probably 2 targets, so we'll have the team split into 2 in 2 directions. It may not be necessary depending what the satellites are showing, but that obviously will change, and I will give instructions first thing in the morning once I've decided the best procedure for that. So first deployment, 3 hours, 100% declination, straight down, plenty of water, then shut down. The shutdown will be for around 15 to 30 minutes. Now, not everybody's got the time to be there to do it, but if you have, really appreciate it. It's going to be a world first one-off, and you'll see why in a minute. So the second deployment, just a quick 1 or 2 minutes of spray of water, leave it capped and shut down for a second after you've sprayed it. Then deploy for 3 hours at the given target as a low deployment, a low potential deployment, so no water. As I said, just a short burst spray. Now you should experience a greater rush of wind. That has been my experience, and the reason for that is you're having a far better reaction with the etheric flow, and you'll see why, as I said. So as I said, we'll have 2 targets on the deployments depending what the satellites are showing and where the potential blockages and pull-ins should be. And it's based on what Trevor had discovered about the ether. So here we go. I will show you. Now if you haven't seen the Granada forum, it's incredible. The thing about Trevor James Constable is you can watch something 3 times and you'll learn something on the 4th time. And this is something I picked up on when I was watching it again the other day. Now, ether is everywhere, but there's also differences in potential of ether, like hot and cold. So we could say temperature is everywhere, whether it's hot and cold, but some places are cold and some places are hot, and that causes potentials between the 2 fields. So hot and cold, you've seen what it does to the weather. So let's compare that to ether, where you will have a flow of ether and not a flow of ether. You'll have ether where it flows and ether where there is no movement and a lower potential of ether. For example, a thunderstorm is a high concentration of the etheric flow. It's a high potential. The desert is a low potential. There's 2 opposing situations and conditions. Now what Trevor is about to say is this. I know, and we'll know from experience, because of the sun's charge and the reaction of the planets and the whole solar system, that there has an etheric flow, even in outer space. And it's omnipresent. And that means there's also an etheric flow within the earth, which can be pulled and attracted and blocked and pulled by the translators. And here we go.
And and that your technology is more friendly to the biosphere. Would you support that intention?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's friendly, especially if you know how to use it. And if you don't know how to use it, you can do a lot of damage with it, because the energy...
That's a point worth noting. That's why we're not shoving the translators everywhere. And I have in the past, I've had the feeling, and I still believe that with the right intent, you cannot do harm with the translators. With bad intent, eventually it will stop working, but in the meantime, you can do some harm with it. Hence the issues we had in the page where we resolved them, where people were not working well with translators. But anyway, here we go.
The orgone energy goes in and out of the Earth. The Earth breathes orgone energy. That is, the secret of many of the mysteries of meteorology is in the fact that the Earth breathes. And
isn't that interesting? The Earth breathes, and that's what changes the weather. The etheric charge goes from high to low to high to low. And he talks about hurricanes, even in what I posted the other day on the page, that the etheric flow runs through the hurricanes, typhoons and tornadoes, as well as the electric charge of negative and positive ions. And understanding that gives us great skills on manipulating and healing the weather, despite, as they said on there, I'll have to get that back again, he mentioned HAARP, and it counteracts HAARP. I did send this to somebody and said no, he didn't say he stops HAARP, it counteracts HAARP. Slight play on words, but there you go. So I'll just take that back and we will play that again. Let's have a look.
A low pressure in one area and excessive high pressure in the other area. We can sort of see this.
The noise, by the way, is there.
It's my impression that this is a very damaging phenomena to the entire stratosphere,
and she was talking about HAARP. So I'll take it back to where she started her question.
A higher, stronger pulse of energy than you would need, to get these entities or anything like that. Is that what you want to photograph?
Of course, I've been trying to get one of those filters you've been talking about.
Oh yeah,
for years.
No, they're gone right out. You can't get them now. You'd have to order 6 of them from Germany.
I know where there are some, and I will be getting one of those.
Germany.
I'll order 6 if I can find out where to get them.
Yeah.
The other question I had was, it seems to me that the HAARP disturbance of the weather causes standing waves, where there'd be an excessive drought in low pressure in one area and excessive high pressure in the other area. We can sort of see this, and it's my impression that this is a very damaging phenomena to the entire stratosphere, and that your technology is more friendly to the biosphere. Would you support that intention?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's friendly, especially if you know how to use it. And if you don't know how to use it, you can do a lot of damage with it, because the orgone energy goes in and out of the Earth. The Earth breathes orgone energy. That is, the secret of many of the mysteries of meteorology is in the fact that the Earth breathes, and it breathes this energy. And a great deal of valuable work could be done if that were recognized and made the subject of scientific projects. But the average scientist in the university programs and so forth, he really doesn't want to have anything coming in from left field. He just don't want that.
Now, it could be that they use orgone energy and the ether to control the weather as well. In fact, I'm almost certain that they do, and that's when we can counteract that as well. So it's interesting. So tomorrow the deployment is going to be directly down into the Earth. Now, ether flows from low potential to high potential. So if we're creating a high potential on the surface as a team, the ether will rise from the Earth right up to the surface because of the translator deployment being in direct declination and a high potential. You see the sense in that? It will pull the ether up to the surface, or we'll get the etheric vortexes rising and up in the atmosphere. Once that's happened, we have at least 15 minutes to half an hour pause between starting the second deployment, and those targets of the deployment we will then have in the morning, or yeah, I'll try and get them in the morning, because very little will have changed in that 3 hours, and we will then have the deployments on the targets. Never been done before. It fits in with everything and the evidence in the past of Trevor James Constable, how ether works. I've done research on it with Tesla, and this should have some amazing effects. We may not get the direction always right. It's a first time, so that's down to me to get the second deployment correct, but I'm quite sure it's the way to go, and it should have some fantastic healing results. So thanks for listening to this. I think that's everything. I'm doing another video with regards to the let me bring this back up again. I'm doing another video with regards to the website, the purpose of it, what we're doing, and the admins had a good conversation a week ago. I was hoping to do it before now, but I just haven't had the time to get it done properly, and it will be the next video. But in a nutshell, it was along these lines, and I'll do the next video in detail. Now this is the US West Coast deployment team, or West Side, and we're getting it because even on Facebook, if you want to go to from the deployment messenger, you've got to come out of it and try and open another one, unless you can park them side by side. But on this one, we're going to have it so you can go straight from the deployment page. It's not quite been set up yet. That's what me and Matthew are going to look at, and then you just click, so you're not clogging up the deployment page. We will strictly adhere to the deployment pages kept clean and precise, because we're expecting a lot more members to come in once the new website is up and running, and as the weeks go by, we're expecting to see an influx of deployers, and it would be catastrophic to have loads of conversations. We've got 70 people in the UK deployment team, and if only one person who's in there out of the 70 put one comment on, to get back to the deployment instruction, you've got to go through 70 comments to find it. Now you see what the problem is. Imagine if there was 100 people and they were all active. You definitely need an attachment as a forum, and that's the reason for it. So you've already seen the deployment pages. I would hope in 24 to 48 hours from now, if not tomorrow, and today's Wednesday, so on Thursday, I'm going to start putting deployment instructions for people to log in the site and follow. So it'll be a nice test run after a few days, get some feedback, and let's see how we're going. So we're looking at the groups. Members are going to be loaded by Matthew. I will speak to him later today, and we will have conference talks with Thomas Joseph Brown. Most interesting, and he'll bob in the ether chats and start looking and giving us advice. I'm going to speak to Thomas in a moment regarding certain tips on instructions, one of them being the one that we've just done on this video. So exciting times. The stores here, I've been uploading some things in there. I don't know why the main photo won't come on the front page, but there's new products coming on. I've got new products being designed now. This one is on, that's the titanium with special pendants. It should open up in there, but all these should have a picture on the front that shows what the product is and a library that it goes to. So there you go, that's opening up, and there's another page there. So we've got to make the page really professional and get it working right. Yeah, plus we're making the pictures where you can scroll through them like this, and why not have 10, 15, 20 pictures and then a link to a video of the products, of them being talked about, whatever those products are. People who want to put a page or put their products on here can also have them on here for selling, and they'll just make a small contribution, the £10, like we'll all be doing for the website, and then they shall have access for things like that. So it's going to be fantastic. Now, Trevor mentioned in that video about orgone accumulators. Basically, they are the boxes or the organic layers and metallic layers set in a certain way that generates an etheric or an orgone flow. I mean, there's one. They are charging $3,520, and this is from a few years ago. I've got all the sheets to make this type of thing, so this is the sort of technology we'll have available to us shortly. And by the way, between members of the groups, technology like this that's made will be a third of that price, and this is quite a few years ago as well, so goodness knows what their latest prices could be now. And it's all about the community caring for each other, having technology available to ourselves. Surely a group like that would expand very quickly when we get the results. Yeah, only results count. When people see massive changes in the health because of natural technologies that work with the body, with the ether, with water, with electricity. Exciting times. Now, this is one of the videos that we're going to have on the page, for one of the pages, possibly the healing page or the etheric page. Just enjoy this, and we will catch up later, folks.